Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news. It's Mondays with Mallory with KTIK 95.3 FM The Ticket's John Mallory. Listen to Idaho Sports Talk with Prater in the Ballgame. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 95.3 FM The Ticket and online at KTIK.com. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now, here's Johnny Ballgame and BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? Happy Thursday to you. John Mallory is with us for a special edition of Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. Apologize for the later 9:30 start time, final day of the Boise State soccer camp. Jim Thomas and company running those boys crazy there at soccer camp. So one more day today, so we had to push the time back, but I appreciate you guys for still finding the show, and we appreciate John Mallory for making it work on a Thursday at 9:30 here. How's it going, Johnny?
It's going well, man. No problem. Appreciate coming on. I think we're going to go tomorrow, too. Is that the 3-shot Mallory week? That's historic.
Might be the first time. I think next week you'll be doing some help wrap up shows and some things on BNN as well. So we may get you for 3 days next week, I believe, as well. Monday and then Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even Friday. If we can get you to stick around Vegas an extra morning and maybe get you to get up early and do it, we'll have to wait and see. But looking forward to next week, getting down to Las Vegas, Mountain West Media Days. The BNN team will be descending. Johnny Ballgame, the KTIK team as well on Tuesday. You guys will do your show Tuesday out from the cabana there at Stadium Swim. And then Wednesday and Thursday inside the media room. I got an advanced look from our friend Javen Headland at the Mountain West. Johnny, you and your setup and our setup and Bob, they kind of gave us our own little Boise corner of the hallway. So we're going to have a nice spot there for the Boise media. Apparently Prater told him that you guys are very loud and did not put you in the middle of the room. So I said, not a surprise.
I don't think he meant you guys. I think he meant one part of the show, but I'll take responsibility on that. But, yeah, this is going to be fun. Here we are, BJ, just a couple more sleeps, as you would tell your children, a couple more sleeps until we get to Las Vegas. And my first time at Circa. This is, from all accounts, the most fabulous sports book created on the history of this planet Earth, BJ. And we're going to be down there, get all our bets in before football season starts. I'd rather have it at any other place than Circa.
Yeah, Circa is the sports mecca of the world. It is the world's largest sports book. They have the world's largest outdoor sports amphitheater with Stadium Swim as well. So I'm really excited for you guys to see it, excited for our viewers, your listeners, to all hear about it and to see it. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And again, that'll start on Tuesday. But first, you and I, Johnny, on Monday, will make a huge announcement for BNN. It's going to be a big week, the biggest week in the history of BNN next week. 2 major announcements coming up. The first one will be on Monday. So make sure you do not miss Monday's show, 9 a.m. Johnny and I, as we preview media days and also get to a mega announcement at BNN. Might even have a special guest join us. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see on Monday. But looking forward to that. And again, make sure you're following all the KTIK social media channels and make sure you're following BNN as well. Kyle jumping in early, Johnny, on the ICCU YouTube chat, checking in from Denmark right now while on a work trip from Utah. Really liking all the content this offseason. Can't wait to see what a healthy Helani can do with shared reps with Jeanty. We are going to talk Ashton Jeanty on today's show. Thank you, Kyle, for checking in from Denmark. What time is it in Denmark, you think, right now, Johnny? Let us know,
I'm
Kyle.
sure Denmark is probably 11, 12 hours ahead. So that's where I would say. So right now it would be, I don't know, about 11, 10:30 at night.
Okay, you think it's that far ahead? I'm going to go like 5 or 6 p.m. I'm going to guess it's like 7 or 8 hours ahead.
Okay.
We'll see. Let us know.
Right, yeah.
But, we are going to talk Ashton Jeanty on this episode. I'm very excited about that. But, Johnny, I do want to start. There was a quick thing this morning I saw from the NCAA basketball committee. They met this week, and one of the items they did discuss is potentially expanding the NCAA tournament. Before we talk Kalani, I want to get folks' thoughts in the ICCU YouTube chat. What do you think of the potential expansion of the NCAA tournament? Would you be for it? Would you be against it? How many teams would you add? Remember, about 80 teams go to a bowl game out of the 125 in the FBS. You've only got about 68 teams out of 350 that make the NCAA tournament. Where are you, Johnny Ballgame, on the potential expansion of the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ingredients I can put into this crock pot, BJ. Some I like and some not so much, man. Like, for example, for me, for Idaho Sports Talk, for Prater in the ball game, if the tournament expanded to, say 85 teams, Boise State's going to be there at least 50% of the time. Is that good for folks in Boise? They're eventually going to win one of those games, and they're going to make the tournament with higher frequency than ever, right?
Yeah.
For the Boise fan. But for the college basketball purist in me, if I am one, or just the lifelong fan of that tournament that I have been, I almost don't want to mess with it, man. I always want it to be, for most schools, a really big deal when you make it, and if you can get to be one of those schools where, hey, you make it every single year, you're a made man, hey, capiche, good for you, right? Forget about it. But for the other teams, I think it's a real special deal when they make the tournament. And I like that scenario. I like it how it is a special thing. Now I get it. College basketball, BJ, they just have one thing, and it's that stupid tournament, right? Nobody gets ready for college basketball much before March. It's sandwiched between football season, the NBA, hockey, all that stuff. But it's beautiful on that 1 month of March. So if they want to try to get that and make that bigger, I understand where they're coming from, but you will water it down a little bit as well. Slippery slope for me. I would keep it where it is, though, but I do understand the side of college football too. Hey, all these bowl games, most of those bowl games don't matter. Most people don't care. So I wouldn't certainly want the tournament, BJ, to get to that point where there's just so much of it, we don't care anymore.
Adam says, keep the same. Big achievement to make the NCAA tournament. Perry says, too many weak bowl games already. And Joe's going a step further. He says, take away the first 4. He doesn't like the play-in games. He wants to go back to 64.
I could do that too, Joe. Right? I mean, who needs the play-in games, right? I mean, they're garbage, BJ.
That Tuesday and Wednesday night to get you kind of your appetite going for Thursday. The 2 16 seeds battling it out. I mean, come on.
It's okay, but I don't need it. I mean, yeah. I mean, if it's going to prevent, I mean, the only reason they did that is because the at-large conferences didn't want to lose any more bids, as you know, BJ. Yeah. But it is what it is. But if you make it 90, 85, 95 teams. Where we're like, oh, is the Mountain West a 5 or 6 bid league this year, BJ? Let's talk about that on BNN Live tomorrow. How many bids? Like, do you want that?
You're going to have 14 Big Ten teams get in or whatever. I mean,
it would be. Hey, BJ, they're 5-13 in their league, but 3 of those 5 wins are pretty good wins. I think they're a bubble team. Yeah. Oh, they're 7 games under 500. I still think they're on the bubble. They have 2 really good quad 1 wins. Like, get off it. I don't want those conversations, man.
I don't want to add 50 teams, but I'd be fine if you added another 10 or 12. I mean, who cares? I mean, it's more games you get to watch. Maybe you make it another weekend, or you do that early on like the Monday and Tuesday, some more kind of play-in games where they funnel into the
bracket's going to look weird, and there's 10 to 12 teams.
I don't know if I want to go all the way to 96, but I mean, I'd be fine if you added another 10 or 12. I mean, at some point, teams don't deserve to get in. But I don't know. I wouldn't have a huge problem with either way. I just saw they were talking about it. Nothing is imminent. They are at least having for the first time, an official discussion by the committee on what they should do. But don't forget, Johnny, what rules all this is TV dollars. And if they can get more revenue from CBS and Turner Sports to play more games, then that's probably what's driving this, not necessarily the extra teams they would add in. They get more games, more inventory, more money, and that's probably where this is going. By the way, Kyle says Denmark 8 hours ahead, so I was about right.
Shut up, BJ.
5:30 p.m. He's in Copenhagen, Denmark right now, watching this show. So that's pretty cool. The power of social media. That he's from Utah, BSU fan, watching us in Denmark. I got to be honest though with you, man. You're in Denmark right now. What the heck are you doing watching us? Get out and do something cool in Denmark, man. Come on.
He's probably done all that, man. He just got off work. This is cocktail hour.
Exactly.
He's gonna hit up downtown Denmark, downtown Copenhagen.
Oh man. Hey, Cutwater Spirits, more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Recommend the Long Island iced tea, the pina colada, any of the margaritas. Recommend them all. They're great. More than 30 flavors. And again, Cutwater Spirits. Pick them up at your local gas station or grocery store. Rowpaint.com, the official paint and coatings company. Boise State Athletics. You can check them out. ROEpaint.com. That one-day install in the concrete coatings. Transformational for your ugly concrete slab you got, whether it's your basement, your garage. So check them out. Rowpaint.com. They'll come out for free and give you a full walkthrough of the process and a price estimate, and I highly recommend Rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, they brought you episode 3 the other night of the Tyson Degenhart Show. We had Cam Martin, Omar Stanley, some fun conversations about them floating the river, and adjusting to Boise, 2 of the newcomers on the basketball team. So you can find that full episode of the Tyson Degenhart Show on the Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. And again, Idaho Central Credit Union, branch pretty much on every corner. Do it over 500,000 Idahoans have done. Make the switch today. ICCU.com. And if you're looking for a new vehicle, highly recommend Lithia Ford of Boise. They got some great sales going on right now. Rain's family's still very happy with our F-150. So go on into their showroom there on Fairview Avenue in Boise. And you can check the full inventory of vehicles at lithiafordboise.com. So check them out, view the inventory, view the vehicles, find the ones you want, then come on in and test drive them. And that's a very easy process. And in a couple hours, you'll be on your way with your new vehicle. Again, Lithia Ford of Boise. Okay, we're down to number 2, Johnny, on the most important players. I don't remember. I know we did the show last Friday on Idaho Sports Talk. You and Prater and myself, we all put our top 5 out there. Did you have Ashton Jeanty number 2?
I don't believe I did. I think I went with DJ Schramm.
Okay, and we actually potentially would have had DJ Schramm today and would have had Jeanty yesterday, but I didn't want Mike Prater. He was on Tuesday and Wednesday, and we talked about Halani on Tuesday and kind of got into Jeanty, so I didn't want to have the same discussion 2 days in a row. So we just switched it so we could talk Schramm yesterday. Wanted to get your take on Jeanty today. And you've been Team Jeanty since the day last season ended. You've been high on this guy, very high on him. And, for good reason. 845 rushing yards. I guess that was the gain. Finished with 821 rushing yards, averaged 5.3 yards a carry, 7 rushing touchdowns. We all saw what he did in the bowl game, 178 yards, 2 touchdowns, I believe. Obviously, he's a very special talent as a sophomore. We've got him as the second most important player behind. I don't think it's any surprise. Taylon Green will be the guy we talk about tomorrow. But what do you make of Ashton Jeanty and his importance to this team? And then I want to get into the George Halani debate, I guess, at some point. But Ashton Jeanty, I know you're Team Jeanty. I know you expect a huge year from him.
I thought at the end of the season last year, Ashton Jeanty, to me, put away a lot of the discussion about who the best running back or the best fit for that team and that offense was last season. I thought at the end of the year was Ashton Jeanty. The way they were able to use him in the bowl game, he was the best player on the field there. He just left that taste in everybody's mouth that, whoa. we hit on this kid, and I know Bronco Nation's really excited about it. And I think the difference with Ashton Jeanty is you see the certain level, the certain skills his skill set, the abilities he has at the running back position. I think it's reminiscent of past running backs in this town on this team that have taken their talents to the NFL and have just been difference makers. There's a few of them, and people know who those names are. And I see Ashton Jeanty play, and I'm like, yeah, okay. I can put him with that group. I can put him with Doug and Jay Ajayi and Brock Forsey and Jeremy McNichols. He seems of that ilk. Now, obviously, he has a long way to go, but sometimes with the really good ones, you can see them play at an early age or an early grade, freshman year or whatever, and say, that guy, that he's got it. He's going to be really good. A lot of times, you can see that, and I think people have seen that with Ashton Jeanty. And let's be honest, 976 scrimmage yards. I mean, that's a big year for a first-year player, especially on an offense that didn't really get it going until October last year. That offense was a joke the first month. They couldn't get anything going. So 976 yards, BJ, most of that was towards the end of the year. So, heck yeah, that's more than we thought he was going to have last year. If he's getting 976 in a backup role, I mean, this year, if they let the reins off a little bit, they let him go a little more, I think we can get 15, 17, I think we can see 1,700 yards all-purpose out of Ashton Jeanty this year. So, yeah, I'm excited for what we're going to see this kid be able to do this season, BJ, for sure.
Now, how do you look at his, this whole debate with him and George Holani? And I think a pretty good milkshake bet. I am pretty confident, and I would lay down a decent-sized bet. I think George Holani gets the first carry of the season against Washington. Mike Prater thinks it's going to be Ashton Jeanty. I mean, I don't know what odds you would put on that in Vegas. We're going down there next week. I mean, where would the first, not to say who's going to be the starter, not to say who's going to rush for the most yards, the first carry of the season or the first play of the season, who do you have and who do you think's in the backfield?
Yeah, me and Prater were arguing about this yesterday too. It's going to be George Holani. This is the 5th consecutive year where he's going to be RB1. Think about that. Holani's going to be a week 1 starter 5 straight years. He was a week 1 starter, I believe, in the Florida State game, correct? 2019, his freshman season. Holani's going to start, if anything, just to calm the mass, I think, a little bit. And the mass, I mean by Boise State, because you've seen that stadium. It is going to be rocking early on. The weather's probably going to be fantastic, BJ, and the crowd is going to be as loud as anybody on the Boise State team has ever heard it. And I think you're going to have Holani in there getting that first carry, kind of the veteran presence, but hopefully Jeanty gets all the touches he needs as well, BJ. But yeah, I'm with you. I would say Holani's out there first, the first series of the season. I think you're going to see Holani there. They probably give him the first carry too. I agree.
Perry says Jeanty Holani is like thunder and lightning. How do you see the carries? I don't want to put words in your mouth again, but you do believe Jeanty will end up leading the team in rushing, right?
I don't know if that means he's going to lead the team in carries, though, right? It could be George Holani has more carries. Ashton Jeanty has more yardage. I think they're both going to see a lot of work, unless, of course, George Holani continues to battle injuries. And there's a point where, okay, Holani's having a hard time staying healthy again. When we bring George Holani back, the coaches will say, we're going to do so in a limited role. So it will turn into 75-25. Jeanty to Holani by the end of the year. But if they both stay healthy, I think they're in a good spot. I think it's going to be 60-40, BJ, 55-45. And I don't know who's going to get the most of it. It might just be game by game. Maybe there's going to be a game where Holani gets 23 carries and Jeanty gets 7 or vice versa.
Ride the hot hand, right?
Yeah. Maybe it's just going to be a whole bunch of all this stuff, BJ. And at the end of the year, both backs will have over 1,000 yards.
You think so?
It'll be close. Yeah, I do. I think both backs can get 1,000 yards. And Taylor Green, you got to factor what he's going to do. I want him to be – I'd like him to have lead the conference in rushing yards for quarterbacks outside of the Air Force kid maybe.
600?
Yeah, and that should probably lead the conference in rushing yards for quarterbacks.
You got to think he can get somewhere from 30 to 60 per game. Maybe one game he breaks a big 50, 61, but
what did he have last year, like 570?
Yeah. I don't think you want him running quite as much, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dennis says what a great problem to have. Sky wants 2,500 combined between Helani and Jeanty. Can you get 2,500 out of the two?
I think you can get 25. I thought about this too, Sky. I think 2,500 scrimmage yards is doable. 2,500 rushing yards is going to be tough, man, because that's 13 and then 1,200. One of them's got to get the other, and then no receiving stats counted on those. I think that's going to be tough, but I think you can get 2,500 scrimmage yards, and then I think that's doable, and I think that you're going to score a lot of points if you're getting those backs with that type of scrimmage yards for sure.
Hey, speaking of Talon Green, Ashton Jeanty, you can meet Talon Green on Sunday at Lean Feast in Meridian. Talon Green will be there signing autographs, preparing meals, taking pictures. If you've never been to Lean Feast, this is the perfect time to try it out and tell the folks there you heard about it on BNN. They'll hook you up with a sweet deal. Leanfeast.com/Meridian. Awesome meal prep service, but you can have lunch there, and they'll pop it in the microwave for you. 2 minutes, and you're eating 12 different kinds of chicken, 6 different kinds of tri-tip. They got steak, shrimp, salmon, turkey, you name it. They got it all, and all kinds of sides and things. More than 10,000 meal combinations. Check them out, leanfeast.com in Meridian. Again, 12 to 2. Go meet Talon Green on Sunday. The Blue and Orange store, if you need some Boise State gear, go check them out. They're in the Boise Town Square Mall there on the second floor next to the Pro Image shop. If you're not in the Boise area, you can go online and get a free shipping on your order of at least $40. Again, check them out. That's the Blue and Orange store. You need a dentist? Check out Boise Dentistry Co. BoiseDentistryCo.com is the web address. BoiseDentistryCo.com. To make it an enjoyable experience to go to the dentist for the full family. Check them out. Find a location near you, BoiseDentistryCo.com. And if you need business insurance, United Commercial Insurance can take care of you. 229-8222, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. They can write business policy insurance in 44 states around the country. Check them out, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. And our friends at Ridley's Family Markets, go download the Ridley's app, shopridleys.com. They got 13 locations in the state of Idaho, all across the Northwest. Help support a big supporter of BNN, Ridley's Family Markets. Next time you're thinking of heading over to the grocery store, go to the local family-owned grocery stores, Ridley's Family Markets. Johnny, we are making preparations for the Canadian trip coming up in a couple of weeks. BNN heading to Canada, and we appreciate RBC Wealth Management, Brian King, Atkinson's Mirror and Glass, the Atkinson family, and Bauscher Real Estate, our 3 sponsors making this trip happen. Pre-game shows, post-game shows, highlights, live interviews. We're treating this like a regular season trip here. Really excited for the 3 games. And again, BNN, stay tuned for more details, but full coverage coming to our social media channels, articles, videos, interviews, all kinds of exclusive content. And again, Bauscher Real Estate, Atkinson's Mirror and Glass, and RBC Wealth Management sponsoring the trip, Johnny. We appreciate them for doing that. I want to ask you about the offensive coordinator, Bush Hamdan. How does a new offensive coordinator, in your opinion, Johnny, change the dynamics of the running back room and who gets more carries? Or I mean, there's when you got a new coach coming in, I mean, a new running back coach coming in as well. So how does a new running back coach, a new OC, how do you think that, maybe hurts or helps either one of the backs?
And a new play caller, right? A play calling OC, So obviously if Bush has certain things that he's confident in, and those certain things are maybe more Helani or vice versa, then he's going to do that. That's what his plan is going to be. He's going to do, call what he likes. That's what coordinators want to do. They want to get comfortable with the guys they have. And, just because you did something last year in a different scheme, maybe even a different type of play, Bush might not even run that play this year. So, yeah, there's this sense of starting over a bit, I think, when you have a new coordinator coming in with their new offense or putting footprints onto whatever offense they're constructing this year. That's another thing. I just want to know how this offense is going to look. Is this going to be a team that tries to rush for 3,000 yards this season and really pound the ball and go easy on your progression of when and where you're going to let Talon Green drive the ball downfield? It feels to me like, if the running game is the strength of this team, and I think it will be, I mean, maybe this is a pound the rock, play action over the top type of team. So I want to know. I mean, I like the receivers. There's not a unit in this offense that I don't like, BJ. I think they are ready to go with experience. I think they have the talent. I think they have the drive. I think they're good kids. I think they're well coached. I think this offense can do really good things this year. Exactly how it's going to look, I don't know. I mean, Bush comes from the Pete school. Are the fans going to get a little bit more trickeration? I mean, Boise State fans loved being the team that ran the trick play.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought Boise State was synonymous with the trick play, just in the world of college football. You say, oh, trick play. You think Boise State. And Bronco Nation took that as a sense of pride, as in, yeah, we're smarter than you. We're the smart guy. We're going to scheme you. We're going to trick you. We're going to put you in a different position. You're not going to know what we're doing. You know, there's just this element of gotcha to the trick play, and it's fun, and I think fan bases love it. I know this fan base did. So maybe Bush has a couple of sprinkles there. Like, if it was me, first play of the season, I'm running the Statue of Liberty or something cool. Just the first play, just to announce my presence with authority. Okay, I'm here. I would throw the fan base little bones here and there. Luckily, I'm not the coach, though, BJ, but I would do stuff like that. Just kind of let the fan base know, I gotcha. Or, I mean, I don't know why. I mean, Chris Peterson's
in the game, bust something out. Yeah, I think in the
first Chris Peterson did that all the time, and it felt like the last couple of years, BJ, there wasn't a lot of trickeration left, and the fans would talk about it. They would.
There hasn't been much. Sky says there's going to be some serious one-on-one opportunities for deep balls for Eric McAllister and Prince Strawn when defenses are putting 8 in the box this season to stop the run.
You'd think, yeah, definitely.
When these teams, if Helani and Jeanty are rolling and they're running the ball like you think they can, man, that might open some things up for the receivers out there.
Yeah, and I like the receiving unit. I think there's 4 or 5 guys there that can have 50 catches, depending on how many balls are going to go around, and probably not a lot, BJ. I think this is a running team, but yeah, I like the receiver group there. I think there's some talent.
Well, again, tomorrow, Johnny will be back. We'll talk Taylon Green and continue to get you set for media days next week. And then Monday, make sure you don't miss Monday's show. We got great viewership, by the way, today, Johnny. Better viewership than we've had. I don't know if it's because of the later 9:30 start time or people like hearing about Ashton Jeanty or what, but don't miss Monday's show. Monday at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. on Monday. We will kick off the biggest week in the history of Bronco Nation News with a huge announcement on Monday. We'll have another announcement that's almost just as big later in the week on Wednesday. So looking forward to a huge week for BNN next week. And then we will be in, as part of the announcement, as part of what we got going on, we will be in Las Vegas for media days, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, Johnny, appreciate you for coming on Thursday. Thanks to JP for helping get us on. And let's do it again tomorrow. We'll be back at 9 a.m. We should be the regular 9 a.m. time tomorrow.
I like these 9:30 starts, man.
Okay, maybe we switch it to 9:30 moving on here.
Maybe your listeners need that extra half hour. I mean, you're getting record viewership, BJ. Might not want to mess with that.
It's good viewership. I don't know if I'd quite say record, but we're better than a usual show.
Good.
I guess they were expecting Prater to come on, and then they saw
probably.
You. But Sky says good work. Appreciate the content, BJ and Ball Game. So
Ashton Jeanty.
Yep, we'll talk Taylon Green tomorrow. Don't miss it. 9 a.m. tomorrow. John Mallory and myself as we wrap up our 25 most important players. And again, get you set for a big week with BNN next week. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live. Bronco Nation.